The Honorable Commissioner of Education, Gombe State, Mr. Dauda Batari Zambug, and also the Director of School Service, the Director of Finance. Good afternoon all. We are here on behalf of Cedarseed Foundation. My name is Rebecca Hassan once again, the MIE of Cedarseed Foundation. I'm also representing our Executive Director, Madam Lois Auta, which is, she's absent because our head office is in Abuja. So she has some things to do in Abuja. That is why she's not here with us. And also the program officer is not here with us. The finance also she's not here with us. Sir, I have a speech from Cedarseed Foundation that I want to read. Good afternoon, distinguished honorable ladies and gentlemen. I bring you greetings from Cedarseed Foundation. I would like to begin by appreciating the Honorable Commissioner of Education, Gombe State. Commissioner of Education, Gombe State, to find it worthy to grant our request for this advocacy visit. Making sure that this visit happen within the shortest time. Your speedy response to our request is enlightening, and we are honored, sir. Thank you so much. We are here at the behest of the Cedarseed of the board. We are here of the board and management of Cedarseed Foundation, a youth-led, non-governmental, non-profit, and non-sectarian membership-based development organization with the mission of providing services that support persons with disabilities to participate in all aspects of life by mainstreaming their issue and concern into national development agenda based on the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. Our objective are to strengthen capacity of persons with disability, and promote gender equality by creating awareness on the right of PWDs, that is persons with disability, and GIS collaborates with stakeholders in establishing linkages for access to social services. Recently, Cedarseed Foundation received support and funding from USAID through DIS, Nigerian State Accountability, Transparency, and Effectiveness state-to-state projects to implement a project titled Revive Initiative, advocating and promoting inclusive basic education in Gombe State. This project is to be implemented in 6 local government areas in Gombe State, namely Ako local government area, Vili local government area, Shango local government area, Kwame local government area, and Yamaltu local government area. This project is an intentional attempt to rally relevant stakeholders towards revitalizing the national policy on inclusive education, which, if done successfully, will provide all existing and newly established primary and secondary school with inclusive and accessible infrastructure like classroom, playground, toilets, adaptive teaching infrastructure, instructional aids and technologies such as hearing aids, well-trained teaching and non-teaching staff. Public awareness program and create relevant legal and policy framework on inclusive education. This project is initiated as a response to the alarming alarming level of out of school children with disability in Nigeria. With disability in Nigeria, according to Nigerian current population statistic, there are about 20 million 10 million children with disabilities in Nigeria. Representing 15% of the total population of children in the country. Each state and the FCT are projected. Each state and the country are projected to have an average population of about 270 children with disabilities, with different disabilities that of which only an average of 10,000 or less per state are currently receive some form of basic education through the few special needs schools and inclusive units in both public and private primary schools, secondary schools and learning center. Each of the 36 states and the FCT currently has an average of five special schools with the combined enrollment capacity of an average of 1,000 pupils per state. 1,000 people per state. Most of these special needs schools are set in very distant obtained to reach location, lacking in basic infrastructure like roads, electric power, supply, portable water. In addition, most special needs schools are lacking in basic educational infrastructure, human material, and financial resources. It is on these premises that we decided that there is no better place to begin these projects than to come to the gatekeeper of the Ministry of Education Ministry of Education, Gombe State, we are aware that the success of this project will largely depend on the collaboration and support of relevant critical stakeholders like all the local government and the ministries. We will be working for these projects. We are aware of this, and we are only interested in making sure that these projects succeed, leading to increase in school enrollment of boys and girls with disability in Gombe State. Improve and accessible learning environments. Improve availability of accessible learning resources to these children, and a conscious attempt to better the educational experience. Better the educational experience of children with disability in Gombe State by all stakeholders involved. We have come on this advocacy visit to seek the support and collaboration of this ministry under your distinguished leadership, because we know that it will be invaluable. Okay, it will be invaluable for these projects. Okay, for this project, there's the support and collaboration that we seek from you are in the area of access to institution and persons training for teachers on special and inclusive methods of teaching, inclusion of the budget line for the procurement of assistive learning devices and materials for children with disability in Gombe State to aid their learning their learning process. Push for the implementation and enforcement of the national policy on inclusive education in schools and relevant institutions, and the implementation of other relevant and related inclusive educational policies in Gombe State from the local government level and many more. We wish also to solicit for your partnership and support all through the project cycle, even in areas we have failed to mention or capture. This advocacy visit is one of the activities components plan for these projects. Other action plan for this project includes media engagement, various town hall, developing memorandum and strategic plan that will be presented to the governor and the head of education committee of the Gombe State House of Assembly. Sent to this effect, we implore you to be a major partner in this realization of the objective of projects. Revive initiative in Gombe State. We are highly optimistic that your support will be available and unwavering for these projects. Once again, thank you for giving us the opportunity to pay you this advocacy visit. Your speedy to our request. Thank you for listening. God bless you. Cedarseed Foundation team. Thank you, sir. Well, sir, even though the reading of Braille is very slow, and sometimes during the Braille, maybe somebody that is reading will not read properly for me to Braille, but thank God that everybody has his own copy. Sir, I want to use this opportunity again to say thank you for this wonderful opportunity that you give to us to be here this afternoon. Sir, we all know even though this policy is here, and the work that we are going to do with state to state, the project that they gave us to work on is on inclusive education. And on issue of education is here, and the policy is here. So that is the reason why we see there is no need for us to start the work without coming here to seek for your support, to seek for your collaboration. Because when the time that we are going to start this project, the names of the ministries that we are going to visit, Ministry of Education was the first ministry that we think about, because we are working on education and everything on education is here. So that is the reason why, sir, we are here this afternoon to seek for your support and to make this existing policy, to implement it so that our children with disability that are out of school, because most of the children with disability, if you check it out, most of the parents are very poor. Most of the children with disability came from a very poor background. So for them to carry their children from different angle of Gombe State to come to Gombe special school to attend school, sometimes it's very difficult for those parents to do so. So for this policy that is on ground, it will help parents that have children with disability to take their children to nearby school, to attend school like everybody's children. If you check out, sir, children with disability that attend inclusive education, that attend school that with everybody's children, even the way of their communication is very different from the children that attend only special school. Because the children that attend school that everybody children are attending, even during if they are talking, you will see them talking confidently. They will talk like everybody. They will take everybody as one. But those that are living in special school, or they attend special school, only them there. You will see them isolating themselves, talking even in the family. You will see them, they are doing things as if they are not part of the family, simply because those children that in their house, they are not disabled. So by this, with this policy, sir, we are seeking for your support to help us, because the project that we are going to carry from now is only is 1 year project. So with your support, that it will help us so that we help children with disability to reduce street begging, to help the parents, because persons with disability, more especially blind to a person without education, I don't think he has anything to do apart from this education, because he cannot even enroll into a business, because everything that he will do is only this education that will help them. So, sir, we are here. We believe as you help us to come here, you listen to us, and I know, Father, with you, since we are here before you, will help us to achieve our goal by helping these children with disability. Thank you, sir.
The Honorable Commissioner, Minister of Education, all other protocols duly and respectfully observed. For the sake of time, I would like to once again welcome our August visitors this afternoon to the Ministry of Education, Gombe State. We have listened to your address as a foundation that is Cedarseed Foundation, a non-profit, non-religious bias, non-tribal, and so many other things, you are all out to help, to assist people with disabilities. Honestly, you have two rewards. Apart from making them happy, I'm sure they will be praying for you to God Almighty to reward you abundantly. Because it is not easy to find a group of people that are so much concerned to their fellow people that by destiny are having some challenges. On our own part, we shall continue to partner with you people to ensure that we render our services as expected, more especially to people with challenges of disability. Honestly, all the institutions we have in the state, particularly the one here in Gombe, Special Education Center, we are always keen and interested in seeing that the challenges bedevil the schools are addressed. And you are aware that the business of education is capital intensive. There is that need for collaboration and partnership from NGOs, from philanthropists, from well-to-do people in the society. We are always appealing to corporate organizations to come to the assistance of government. So the challenges facing the education sector are enormous, and they are addressed as at when due. So without taking much of your time, I want to most sincerely welcome you and to reassure you on behalf of our leader, who has special passion for the development and growth of education to the people of Gombe State. Finally, I will not take much of your time, but rather re-echo our own readiness in the Ministry of Education to partner with you, so that together we shall build the entire state, irrespective of gender, tribe, social status, or geographical location. All citizens are equal before us. Thank you very much. You are welcome.
Honorable Commissioner, sir, permit me to stand on the existing protocol. And the Director of School Services has said it all. For notwithstanding, I have one or two things to say. Number one, I want to really start by welcoming you to this Ministry of Education, where everybody is somebody here. Yes. With the leadership of our able Honorable Commissioner. We sincerely welcome you. And to also commend you for the passion you have to commend the Cedarseed Foundation team for the passion you have for a person with disability. We know it's not been easy how you're running the organization, although it's a non-governmental organization and non-profit. I pray that God will bless you and help you even in your future endeavors. And you are here for an advocacy visit. We want to believe that the Ministry of Basic Education has heard everything, and with the Honorable Commissioner, what you are seeking for support, we want to believe the Honorable Commissioner will respond to you rightfully for whatever you want. He is going to respond and he's going to give you whatever you want, because I know him, as the Director of School Service has said, he's a leader with passion also. He leads his people while we follow him. So thank you very much. As you go back, we pray that God will take you home safely. Thank you. Honorable Chancellor.
My sister, who happens to be the lead team of these members of this very important foundation, Rebecca Hassan, the two directors we have here present, and I've seen the third director who is just coming in from Agency for Mass Education, the distinguished A very good afternoon to all of us. Let me start first and foremost on a serious note by appreciating this foundation. You decided to write to us, and by your pronouncement that we responded quickly, and today here we are. Perhaps if we have not done that, we may not have known what you people are doing. So permit me to take this opportunity to really appreciate the NLC. Even though you are commending us, but to me, we should commend you for taking the right step. It's like a young man who wants to marry a beautiful lady and he decided not to talk. And then of course, he expects to marry the beautiful lady. It's going to be impossible. So if the young man has taken the first step, then other things will follow. And this is what you have done to us. You have come to seek our partnership, to seek our support, to make an advocacy. And of course, you can see, immediately you did that, we were on our part, had no other option but to say, you should come. So we are really grateful. Now, two, from what you have said, we are on an advocacy visit. In other words, we want to bring to our awareness the activities of Cedarseed Foundation, what we are doing in terms of capacity building, in terms of advocacy, to have policy framework, under which I wouldn't call it people with disabilities. When you say that, I get angry inside. It should be people with special needs. The reason is simply this. My belief is that even the people you think that they don't have disabilities physically, they have their own disabilities internally. And of course, it is only the grace of God that makes them to be where they are. So my belief is that fundamentally we are talking about people with special needs, because in any disabled person there is ability. And I can tell you, I can cite some examples so that we will take this as our take home. In the 60s, when I was growing up, then in my teens, there used to be one man. I think the man may not be alive because I'm telling you stories of 60s while I was in the primary school up to 70 before I completed. There's one man. Oh, there was one man, Sule Garko. Sule Garko was very good in bread. I know why. He was always invited for Christian meetings. That kind of meeting, if there is going to be a bazaar or Thanksgiving harvest or anything, is done annually in Gombe. Then Gombe was just Gombe division, minus Tangala Raja, which we call Gombe South. So this Legako, incidentally, is a Christian. So I think the missionaries taught him how to read bread. In fact, when he places his Bible, he's reading, all of us will marvel. In fact, we don't even look at our Bibles again, including our own parents. We just look at the man will be reading from the scriptures. And one of the areas he read, up to today, I still remember it, over 50 years, and I'm telling you this one solidly, was he read, I think, in the book of Romans, where the Bible was speaking, kada ku juyu ga wannan zamani, gama Yesu almasihu bai taɓa cin zuwa ba. And he cited an example that he used to have a daughter. Then, you know, sorry, I'm going to that history because they are inspirational things to try. The man told a story of how his daughter came to him one day and said, Daddy, said, yes, what do I do for you? He said, please, can you give me money? What do you want to do with the money? He said she wants to buy Ambi. Then that is Flegak was speaking. He said, what are you going to use the Ambi for? He said, Ambi. Oh my God, Daddy, you give me money, I buy Ambi. When I use that cream, I will be as light as Oyibo person. Say, yeah, you want to be as light as Oyibo person? Say, yes. He said, okay, that is good, but I want to ask you, if you become light, if you can use a cream to be as light as an Oyinbo man. Can I ask you whether that cream can change your hair, that type of Oyinbo hair? Then the doctor said, no, cannot. Then he said, okay, another question. Would you have a pointed nose like that of an Oyinbo man? The little girl said, no, I will not have pointed nose because my nose remains as it is. And the exposition, that is why he was saying, do not be conformed to this world, but always remember what? That was my first encounter with a man that read the Braille, and he read the scriptures. And incidentally, by the time he knew he was given 45 minutes to preach, as he was preaching, he now touched his watch. He said, oh gentlemen, the time you gave me, I just have 15 minutes to finish. Everybody marveled. That was number one. Number two, in my universities there, I was in Abu area. The same thing too. We used to go to what you call the university chapel. And we used to have this man, Petrus Gani. Petrus Gani came, he gave a preaching, and the way he preached more than all of us that we think we have abilities, or we are not disabled. So there is ability in disability. The third one, which you must have read about, is Helen Keller. Everybody knows the story of Helen Keller, that she's been widely quoted for some of the things. She has no eye, she could not hear. And yet, if you go, you Google, you see who Helen Keller is, you wonder what she has done philosophically that makes some of us that we think we have ability. You say, we don't get ability. The last one, which I will mention to inspire us, is in the 1930s. One of America's best presidents that served for not just 2 terms. It was on him that America changed its constitution, that the president should not serve more than 2 terms. That was Roosevelt, the man who introduced what you call the New Deal. He did that because in 1930 there's what we call world economic depression, like the one we had in 2008 and the one we had in 2020 because of Corona. There was world depression. Roosevelt was voted America's president. He introduced the New Deal from 1933 up to 39. He served for 3 terms. It was on him that America's constitution was changed. And Roosevelt was on wheelchair. Go and find out. You can browse it. So what am I saying? Madam Rebecca, you are fantastic work. I'm telling you this from my heart because I have seen that people like us who think we are not, we don't have special needs, yet we found that it is people like you that you have set up a Cedarseed Foundation, and not because of anything, to periscope the challenges, to bring to the fore the issues of how we have amongst us people with special needs rather than people with disabilities. If people who have disabilities, then there is no way we can do anything to them. But when they have special needs, it means there is ability in them. You gave a little bit of a fighting of some figures that as you were talking, I was also trying to search my mind. Said we have 36 states, including Abuja 37, and that if your statistic is correct, you said in each of these states, including the Federal Capital Territory, we have a minimum of 270 persons with special needs. And I said, okay, if that is the figure you are having, let me do our own Gombe. And we have 11 local governments. And I did the calculation. I came up with, in each local government, we have 24,500. Check. Persons with special needs. I didn't say with disability or special needs, because there is ability in them. This is my perception. And that is the ability of what we are saying here now, being exhibited this afternoon. So, quite all right, giving that number is about worrisome, because I know why I had wanted the Director Special, Director of School Services to speak, is for him to see the glaring number of how many people with special needs do we have in our schools. That's the question. We need to know that population so that we'll be able to know how many out of the 24,500, how many, if your statistic is correct, how many are out of school, and how many schools do we need to bring them on board so that they become people with abilities, so that we see the best in them, like those people I mentioned to you, Sulegarko, and Keller, and Roosevelt, and these are examples. And there are so many, even from the, let us not take offense, you know, even if you go from the Islamic religion, there are a lot of people that have had disabilities, but they were able to accept. Perhaps those who were with the Holy Prophet Muhammad, some of them had disabilities, and today they have become what they call Sahabai. Sahabai means they're the disciple of the Prophet. And they have become people. It's only that I'm not knowledgeable in that. I could have quoted the sentence to buttress the fact that in every person that you see, so long as he's a human being, he can talk, he can speak. There is nothing he cannot be. He has ability in him. Good. So we look at that statistic. So the point I mentioned here is this: we look at that statistic, 24,000 by each local government in Gombe. Because she's saying, from their speech, they say we have a total of 270 children, special needs. And it means our local government will have 24,000. But I would want to ask you, of the 11 local government, you decided to say your project would be concentrated on 6. You mentioned them, Akko, Beleri, including my own. Is it based on this statistic, or you have a statistic showing why you decided to only select these 6 out of them? Is it based on number? You have that statistic, you have that figure? Because these are assignments for you. The ministry would be interested. Government would be interested to have your statistics or your data, buttressing the fact that, look, we decided to do our project in this local government because we have more disabled, we have people with special needs in those local government. We have 11 local government, you are concentrating on 6. And from your reading, which I have taken note, as you were reading, I was saying, I've noticed you have mentioned Akko, you have mentioned Billy, you have mentioned Yamata Deba, you have mentioned where again? Kwame. So these 6, I want to find out how did you arrive at the decision of taking that? Is it based on your data, your statistics? Yes. Good. The next thing I want to say is this. The Director of School Services said that even those people who we think don't have special needs, we are still battling with that. The battle we are doing, we want to get them back to school. Now, the problem of getting, whether you have special needs or you don't have special needs, of getting children out of school to school is simply this. I have found from experience, the problem, the challenges, it's like a tripod. One, first, the parents of those children, the parents of out-of-school children. There's a saying that you can take the horse to the drinking water, and you cannot force it to drink. Most areas where we don't have children attending school, it's not because you don't have the school, but because the parents, they are not supervising or ensuring that the children go to school. And I've always challenged parents that if you have a child and the child is good enough to go to school, whether in nursery, he is not in the home and he is not in school, then it means he must be with the devil. Why is he? So parents have an enormous responsibility. That is the number one tripod of the problem of out-of-school children. That is the point I'm saying. Because you can have the schools, you can have everything, you can do all the advocacy. If parents are not helping to bring those children to school, then there's a problem. Number two, the community. The community. You see, if parents are not doing their work, the community, in terms of traditional rulers, in terms of community leaders, they should be able to look at each parent and say, look, we will not allow this happening in our community. So if the community, they are not helping matters, that's a problem. But if the community as a whole, they say, look, education is important, because they say a child without education is like a bird without a wing, which is true. So if that is true, the community must be interested, stakeholders must be interested, just like we are making that advocacy to ensure that parents also send their children to school. The last one, the tripod, is the government. Now, parents are sending their children to school. Communities, they are concerned about education. Communities, stakeholders, they are concerned. Then if government fails to provide those infrastructure, then there is a problem. So it requires the three things to synergize for us to have people, whether they have special needs or even children that we think they don't have special needs, to be in school so the learning can flourish. So this is my take for you. My take is that, yes, one angle, you are trying your effort to bring children with special needs. And I'm saying too, apart from that one, even people that don't have special needs, we have seen from experience that these are the problems associated with getting them into school. And where I gave you an example of the 4 persons, I'm saying there is ability in every human being. And any human being can be anything with education. So that is the point. The last one is for you you talk about project. You have been speaking about advocacy. Well, bring this awareness that we have children with special needs, that we need to provide them a conducive learning environment, which I agree, you have given the number. The question we are asking, this partnership that we want us to have, and this project that we are doing in this 6 months, what is that project? Are you building schools? Or are you just going on sensitization? Is that what we are doing? Or what really are you, what is the component of that project which you have been speaking about? I really want to know. Because if I have known the component of the project, they say, oh, while you are doing the advocacy, this is the project we want to do in this 6 local government you are choosing. Then we say, okay, what and what are you going to do? We want to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, or whatever. Then we say, okay, who are the people we will reach out to? Because the synergy is for us to come together and support you. And then if it requires us going to government, we go to government and say, look, this is the statistic. And of course, we should have the statistic based on facts. And say, government, look, here is a foundation that has brought to the fore the issue of special need or special school for some children that have special needs. And therefore, we believe, since as a foundation they are doing that, we should support them so that together we'll be able to solve the problem, or we'll be able to address some of the problem. But as it is, it's a bit fluid for me to say, okay, we are going to, what is the project? This is a question I will ask my able sister that is here to answer. And then let me also, if I hear the answer, I will be able to maybe chip in what I think we may do to get this on. Can we hear from you?
All right, sir. Thank you for...
I have not finished. Don't tell me yet.
All right, sir. So, these projects that we receive a grant from state to state is based on the policy of inclusive education that it has been in existence since, I think, last 4 or 5 years. So we want to advocate for government to help the children with disability to start going to school, to attend school with everybody, children, and to advocate also to the parents to bring their children to school, to attend with everybody, children, to give them the importance of doing that, and also to visit the emirs in these 6 local governments that we are going to work with, and also the chairmen of these 6 local governments. That is what state to state give us the support to do this enlightenment. Thank you.
Okay. So generally, it's
So I think it's clear now to us. What we are just saying is that as a foundation concerned about the policy to ensure that people with special needs, I still emphasize that, because there is nobody with disability. All of us here, if we check us, we have a disability, all of us, including us, me that I'm standing here. So, but people with special needs, we should get them back to school. We should provide the means by which there should be inclusiveness. That is understandable. That, I don't think you will live here without getting our assurance that we will collaborate with you. Because we will talk to, but why did you take only the 6 now? Which you have not answered the question. Is it based on statistics? That notwithstanding, we can talk about that. No problem. I would have been researched that averagely we have 24,000 persons in each local government that have special need, which is what we are saying. So, as you go on with your advocacy, we'll be part of that. Perhaps we'll help you in the area of publicity. Perhaps before you go there, we'll also support you to say that you are coming there. You are coming there, and this is your mission. I think that one nobody can fault you for that. But like I said, I've given you the area of difficulties we have if we want to succeed. Parents, the stakeholders, when I say community leaders, and government itself. Government will provide the infrastructure. But you see, government will come in last when government knows that they are children. You know, one of the things we do when we go to, like they rightly said, when we go to visit on schools, we go to schools, and then we have classroom, and then we have, maybe we're supposed to have, based on data, that we have 150 people or students in that school. Then we have only 1 teacher. And if the community writes to us that, look, we have shortage of teachers, shortfall of teachers, we say no problem, let's go and see. By the time we go there, instead of you seeing a total of 150 students, you just see only 15, or you have only 50. Of course, how do you expect government to say, you are telling us that you have 150? We have gone there, and physically we see the attendance, we see the records. You are just having about 13 or 25 children, and you are saying that there is a shortfall of teachers. Certainly, you know, government will not be. It is better for us as education managers, if we go to the school, and if you tell us that you don't have teachers, and let's go and see maybe 1,000 people or 1,000 students, and with maybe just 2 teachers. That is where government comes in. Government will say, there's a problem. The students are willing to come to school, and therefore we must provide the teachers. But if you go to a place there are no students, there is no way government will be impaired to do whatever you want. So that is why I was bringing the challenges we have from the parents themselves, the community, and then where government comes in. So let's continue with the advocacy. That notwithstanding, we'll continue with the advocacy, and like they have said, we'll give you support for that. We'll continue to partner with you, and if need be, if you are having any difficulty or you have difficulties, what we'll do, we bring it to the ministry, just like you wrote through the foundation to meet us, and we're having this meeting. If it's beyond us, what we'll do is we'll push it somewhere up. And if we don't have the solution, somebody else will look at it and say, why don't you do it this way? And whatever the solution we get from up, we'll bring it down. Isn't that true? We'll bring it down. So that is just what we'll do for you for now. So once that affect us all. Like I had the opportunity to say lastly, that if you are educated and your children are educated and you have your neighbors, his children are not educated, you are in trouble. You the educated one. Because you will always be their envy. You will always be their target. That's why it's important. If you are educated, your children are educated. Look at your neighbor. If their children are going to school, encourage them. In fact, if need be, pay for them to go to school. Because that is where you will find your peace. And that is what it's supposed to be. On that note, I think I want to say once again, you are most welcome. May God continue to crown your effort. And may God continue to give you wisdom and strength and good health. That you will continue with the job you are doing. And I believe whatever you are doing, if you are not doing it to men, you are doing it to God. God has a way of rewarding you. But if you are doing it because you want to champion a cause so that the members of the public will say, these are people, okay, we'll give you the applause and then we'll applaud you and that will end there. But God forbid, this is not what may the Lord continue to use you. And you are once again welcome. You are once again welcome. Thank you and thank you.